Hello there, friends. Welcome to Coffee with Monica. Today is exciting. You know, we heard about Tyler Perry. Of course, we know about his success and we know of his story. Well, I've got one even better. Yes, I have. So you've got to come back and see this show. We'll be right back on Coffee with Monica.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks.
Well, I guess a lot of what my sister said did transpire, but there was a lot more to it. I can remember being a little girl and my big sister mistreated me. She did me bad, y'all. I mean, secretly pinching me and pushing me down and punching me. Can you imagine your sister doing such evil things to you? I mean, you and your sister are supposed to share a common bond of love and trust and protecting one another, but not us. See, I learned what jealousy could do, the harm it could cause way too early. You see, I learned how it could cause an evil disposition and hatred that will make even the prettiest somebody UGLY. My sister's right. Our family would make differences between us and say, oh, it's because she's the baby. But what would make you go take mother-daughter pictures with one daughter and not the other? Why would I always get first choice of anything that there were two of? I mean, my dad would say, I was this beautiful little princess, and then say to her, come on, Porky. They actually did that. And our family friends were just as cruel. But when you're a kid, you don't see it that way. See, you're just happy that people like you. Now, when it came time for my parents to brag about schoolwork, they say my sister was a genius. I tried, but learning didn't come quick for me. I had to study hard to be average at the basics. They say, you ain't gonna need it no way. Your looks gonna carry you a long way. Can you believe that? And as for school, it was hard for me because it was the only time my sister would say anything nice about me so my friends would notice her. But I guess she thought I was too dumb to figure that out too. People don't realize how what they say take you back. I overheard teachers saying she's gonna have to marry rich and successful in order to ever make it. See, the depth of the wound depended on who was holding the dagger. Yes, I hurt too. And as pretty as I am, it ain't like God didn't cheat on me too. And the lies were worse because they thought I was dumb enough to believe anything they said. Like this one time, I caught this boy that I really cared about. I really cared about him. With another girl. I literally saw them both face to face. You know what he told me? Oh, that was a guy friend of his with long hair. Can you believe that? And as for my sister, she lied about me. She lied on me. She started rumors about me. She even helped a gang of girls fight me once. So no, I would never do anything like fix her up for her to go off and say she don't need a mercy date or she don't want my leftovers. You know, the worst thing about our lives is that no one, not even our parents did ever anything to ever foster a loving and caring relationship between us. They never did anything. I guess it was comical to them. But I'm older now. I should be wiser. I see things a lot different, a lot clearer, but every now and then, those demons rear their heads and I have to fight daily to maintain a relationship with her. It's hard work, but we're determined to help people see their roles in sibling rivalry, whether it's positive or negative.
Welcome back to the show. Miss Bennett Carter. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I don't want to wait another moment. Let's talk about it. What was it that our viewers just witnessed?
Your viewers just saw a portion of Say It Loud. It's one of the 4 pieces that I've written, and this is a part of Cover Girls Uncovered. The particular piece you just saw was about sibling rivalry. The girl you just saw was the sibling who was favored by the parents and by everyone else, and she was just exclaiming that even though she was privileged, she hurt too. There were, she was favored in other ways and dissed more or less in other ways compared to the other sister, but that's one of the more powerful pieces. And I think every family has it. Parents say that they don't have favorites, but it's basically trying to motivate parents to foster a loving relationship between siblings, between sisters and brothers, sisters and sisters, brothers and brothers, so that you don't have that sibling rivalry. And if it's fostered in the home, then people on the outside really don't have that effect on what's going on inside the house, inside the family.
And this particular sister, in the actual production, there is another sister that has a part. Can we talk about her role? Since we didn't get a chance to see her, they'll have to come to the show to see it. But can we talk about the other sister's role a little bit?
Definitely. She talks about how she was the older of the two siblings, 2 years older than her sister. And after how her sister was born, she looked like, I guess, what people thought was like what pretty is to America these days. So she was the one who was favored with everything. Was favored by the way she looks and her pretty hair, her long hair, and she had short hair. She was dark complexion. She had a dark complexion. She said she had a big forehead. She talks about this marketable now. She says, like Tyra Banks and Iman, but in her day it wasn't. She was taunted by that. She talked about she never got the best of everything because they always left that for the pretty sister, and but they praised her when it came to her grades and education and things like that. But other than that, she always felt like she was the stepchild instead of just a sister.
And these are real issues. But
yes, very
before
much
we
so.
I'm just ready to go, and I hadn't even introduced you. I hadn't even told everyone who you are because what you're doing is just so big and so awesome. So I need you to tell the viewers who you are.
Definitely. I'm Sandra Bennett Carter. I'm a native of Pine Bluff. I've been writing all my life. I mean, just little notes here and there, and I've always never had a problem expressing myself. I say that I used to write, I remember in kindergarten writing on the floor, and I tell my mom, see, y'all spanked me, and you need to repent because, y'all were stifling my purpose, So I was starting then. I used to get in trouble for writing on things, and I loved words. I've always loved words, so I would always just talk. Use them.
Well, I got to tell you, for me to sit here with you is just, I feel privileged because, like you said, you are a writer, and there's so many different elements and things to you. And for me to be sitting here with you, it's a great honor because we all know where you're headed. And I just thank God for you, and I'm really super, super proud of you. And so before we just keep on going, because I really want to go, this needs to be an hour show. But you have the production, Say It Loud, and you just produced this show where you actually had it in an auditorium, and there were people, and there was the stage and the lights and the whole production thing, and this baby was birthed out and all that exciting stuff. And we're going to talk about that, but we're going to go to break in just a little bit. But when we come back from break, I want you to think about this. I want you to share with our viewers what it was like for you before you actually birthed it out. Can we talk about that?
Definitely.
All right, we're going to do that. All right, don't go away. We're going to delve a little deeper into Miss Bennett Carter's life, and I like to call her Little Tyler Perry, but I want you to come back. Don't go away. We're going to talk about more of Say It Loud in just a minute on Coffee with Monica.
Right now, famine, war, and drought are killing a child every 6 minutes in the Horn of Africa. They can't share their story, but you can. Even the smallest and simplest investments can save lives. But do more than donate. Forward the facts to everyone you know. Forward from our site. Forward onto your family, friends, and social network. We are the relief.
Welcome back to Coffee with Monica. We're here with Sandra Bennett Carter, producer and writer of an awesome production that has just been birthed out. So you finally got the baby out. I like to call it the spiritual baby. It's the thing that's been placed in us, and it's been growing and being nurtured. And so from the time that you wrote this, how long did it take you to actually get it out?
I wrote the pieces, I can say maybe started about 7 years ago.
Wow.
Just different pieces, but the Lord really gave me a charge. I felt like I was supposed to put it and get it in production about 2 years ago, but I was just afraid. I didn't think I was. I wouldn't have called it that, but it's like every time I talk to somebody, that word kept coming up, fear. So I think I had to admit it and quit it. Basically just had to face it. And then I got married, and my husband kept saying, you kept talking about all these dreams you've had, and how are you supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. And there's no motivation. I don't see you doing it. I don't see you doing it. Why aren't you doing it? I'm reading, he read the pieces, and he was just like, wow, this is powerful. So it took someone, really me being accountable to somebody being in my face saying, do what you're called to do, walk in your purpose. And one day I just sat down and I did a business plan for it, came up with a date, called all the people I needed to be a part of it, and said, like, this is going to happen. It's like 2 weeks out, I know, but it's got to happen. I've got to do it now. I guess it's like a woman in labor and in travail. You can do all the preparation before, but when it's time for the baby to come, it's got to come. So that's where I was. I was at the point. That's why I told them the night at the show, welcome to the birthing room.
Wow,
so that's where I delivered. So I'm excited.
And
about it.
Sandra, the script is so powerful. I mean, you can find yourself in any one of those monologues in this production. And you represented, or you had women represented from different facets of life. You had the breast cancer piece, and that was it just reeled it all in and brought it home, and it opened up our hearts and gave us more of a heart of compassion for family members that have experienced that. Then you had the piece about this was so funny. Y'all gonna have to see this. I mean, it was amazing. When back in the day, when you had the old ladies, the elderly ladies, and they were remembering a time that was so simple, and how things have changed over the time. It was comical, but the point got across.
Definitely, that was my objective.
It was amazing. And then you hit us with the Phenomenal Woman. That was amazing. And the colors, I can go on and on. All I can say is that they need to see the show. They need to see the show. And the cover girl piece, where did that come from?
That's my baby. That's my heart. I would write the piece. It was definitely inspired because I just started writing, and it would become so intense. I would put the paper down and walk away and say, I can't do this. I can't finish it, because I felt it. I knew it was something. I knew if I could write it and feel the passion behind the pen, then the people on the other side reading it, seeing it in black and white, or hearing it, being spoken in a monologue form it would touch them. And like I said, it's a story of about 8 women with different stories. They're biblical women told from stories that are being told from a today's woman point of view. You've got, for example, you've got Tamar, and her name's Tamari, and she was raped by her brother, as was Tamar in the Bible, raped by her brother. And it was talked about how this rape happened in this family and no one ever talked about it. And here she was 17 years into her marriage, that only 1 year had she found peace, because she had to seek help and live out this thing, live out her healing by talking about it and explaining why she was the way she was. No one understood about, the attitude. No one understood about the walls that she built up. So it's touching.
It was so powerful. And the thing is, even though you're taking women from the Bible, you brought it to modern day time. And it's real life.
It is.
It's real issues that we deal with on a daily basis.
Definitely.
Women that we see with smiles on their faces.
That's it.
The cover.
Exactly.
And we don't understand what's going on behind that cover.
Exactly.
But in this production, the covers come off.
It's uncovered.
And we actually get a chance to see what's really going on in the lives of women.
Yeah, and that's what I want people to understand, to get out of it. The enemy wants us to always believe that we're alone. The Bible tells us that no man is an island, and there's feelings of infirmity that I've been touched with, that you've been touched with. It's such as common to man. It's like it's not just me, but there are many women facing the same issues. We just deal with them differently. Some of them we just don't deal with. But we've all experienced something, and through the series of these women's stories, you're going to find yourself. I talk about how written from page to page, our lives are similar, but you never know that unless you uncover and read the true us, find out who we really are.
I tell you, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag right now, but I was at the production.
Yes, she was.
I was there, and I got a chance to read the review in the
Awesome.
newspaper. And how did that make you feel to actually go from, oh, I'm actually going to do this, and then see a review in the newspaper? How did that make you feel?
I've been waiting to exhale. At that moment, I was exasperated before, and I just let it out, and I was excited because I felt like if the person who wrote the article could get my message, I know the other people did.
Yes.
And that was important to me. It wasn't just a show,
Right.
we're all tired of the song and dance, we can do that. But I wanted a message that would touch the hearts of people and give them something to take home with, something to think about, a reason to change. Because a lot of times I can look at your situation and see it differently than I look at my own. I can see myself as, I'm okay. But then when I look at you and judge you with the same situation, I'm like, how horrible.
Yes.
But seeing it that way, it's like, wow, that's me.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can find yourself in many of the women.
And we laughed and we cried.
We did.
And I tell you what, I don't know, and I don't know if I'm wrong for calling you Little Tyler Perry. I don't know. I don't know. It's just we just don't have a female version of him.
Not right now.
Well, I think you just gonna have to step on up, and he's just gonna have to come to your production.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine.
We're gonna go to break in a little bit, but when we come back, we want to talk about how people can contact you and how they can book a show and how they can actually attend a show, because men and women need to see this production.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So don't go away. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to Miss Sandra Bennett Carter a little bit more about Say It Loud and what's on the horizon for her career and her purpose. We'll be right back on Coffee with Monica.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Brown bagging lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to the show. Now, we want to talk about how people can actually come out and watch the show or book a show. Well, let me ask you this. Can they actually book a show for their organization, their church, or what's the plan?
Definitely, they excuse me. Definitely, they can. Right now, I have a date for a show.
Okay.
I'm just trying to secure a venue to do an encore production.
Oh, yeah.
The women in the first production were just awesome, and I still have people calling asking about the characters. You, for example. I was honored to have you be one of the ladies in the production, and you were Abigail, or today's version of Abby, who married a fool. And it was just awesome. People are still talking about the lines you said and the way you just embodied the character, and were able to personify every element of her personality and just show the people exactly, give them the message, the raw message of what it really entailed.
And when you offered that part to me, and I looked at the date that we were to do it, I'm thinking, oh, wow, because it was one of those moments where you hit it and you go.
Yeah.
We just had a very short period of time to do it, but I understand why it was designed that way. And when you gave me that role and I read it, it reminded me of a time in my life.
Yeah.
And I remember in one of the rehearsals where, y'all, you got to stop acting. You got to be the part. And what happened, I didn't want to break through that.
Yeah.
And once I finally did that, it came out, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I actually became that woman.
And that's the important part. I felt that if you could embody that role, then you would be the vehicle to get the other people to the same point where you were, with the same emotion, with the same passion that you were doing it with. They could feel that, they can live that, and they can see themselves. And it was awesome. All the women just did excellent. And
They did. I remember being behind the scenes there, and when a woman would go up, it would strike a chord in me. I mean, even in the rehearsals, and then the night of the actual production, it was, we got something out of it. Even if it wasn't our story, we got something out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited about the public being able to see it again. The demand for an encore production has been, phenomenal. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, I'm looking at Saturday, October 13th.
Okay.
That's a bye week for the university. I've got to keep all that in mind. So I'm looking for, I'll have to secure a venue because right now everything's tight, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make sure that that I use the newspaper and other
social media.
Yeah, definitely to get the word out because that's what I used the last time.
Yeah. And you viewers that are watching the show, I'm telling you, you really, not because I was in it, I'm not an actress and all of that, but the message and the power and the message of it, the ministry of it is amazing. Let me ask you this. We're talking about a lot of women. Would men benefit from coming to
Definitely. I say it's a show written for women by a woman, but any real man can appreciate everything that happens in there.
A real man.
Yeah, a real man can appreciate. He's not intimidated because we say there's some strong language there about things that happen with men, but it's not we don't male bash, we don't beat men down. It's uplifting and it's strengthening women, so a woman, so she can be a better helpmate or helpmeet for a man. So it's a good production for all. I tell, bring your grandmothers, your besties, your sisters, your sisters and cousins by the dozens. Bring everybody. So it's exciting.
Let me ask you this. What's on the horizons for you?
I'm just going to see what God's going to do. I'm going to continue to step out with this. I know that my job is my life's work, but this is where I'm purpose-driven. This is, I'm spirit-led, purpose-driven. That's my mantra for this season, and this is my time. And so that's what I'm saying. So I'm just going to continue to step out and continue to make the production available here in the area. I'm going to try to go out of the state because originally the pieces that I did, a lot of them were done out of the state.
Wow.
So I put the production together because I don't know of anyone in Pine Bluff or in Arkansas, really, a one-woman show where, a woman wrote it and it's just a production of women. And I don't know that there's like vagina monologues and pocketbook monologues, but, I always say that my anatomical parts don't speak for me.
Absolutely.
We're much more than that. We have had life experiences and stories to tell and to share with people that, lips, hips, and fingertips just can't tell it all.
Exactly.
So, this is a way to do that.
Yes, well, I love it. I love it. And I'm going to jump out on a limb here. I have a tendency to do that from time
I
to
know
time.
you.
What about a book?
I've got some books that I've started writing. I've got some little books to get out there. One is called Little Pocket Books of Faith. And they're little books that you can just carry around in your pocket. And when you need something about fear or something about anger or something, you can just carry that little book with you that morning and kind of adjust that attitude throughout the day by reading scriptures here and there and some motivational moments.
Well, what would you say to our viewers who they have the desire to write or they have the desire to act? I'm talking performing arts, the gift of the arts. What would you say to somebody that's got something locked up inside of them?
I would say release it. I mean, if it's something that's on the inside of you, study, find out more and more about the craft, your gift, become perfected in your craft, skilled. You can be, especially with church people, you want to talk about the anointing, but even with David, he was skillful and he was anointed. He practiced and he perfected that. So when the anointing came on it was a great presentation for the Lord. It was the full package. And that's what you want to present. You want to have everything there. You want to be the full package. So, I mean, I just step out and do it.
Wow. Well, I want you to tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Definitely. You can call me at 985-750-8945. Again, that's 985-750-8549. That's my number. Or you can go online to book Penlight Productions, Inc. at yahoo.com.
Okay. Good.
And we'll talk about something.
Okay. And give them your words to live by.
My words to live by, basically, be spirit-led. Know your purpose. Seek out your purpose because you can't do anything in life without fully knowing your purpose. And people say, how do I find out my purpose? I tell most people, it's something that you're already doing.
Exactly.
And it's usually that thing that you love. You may not be getting paid for it, but you would do it if you didn't get paid for it.
Yes.
And that's how you find out that you really walk in purpose. It's your passion. It's that thing that you're driven by.
Right.
And if it's, and Mike Murdoch has this thing that thing that pushes you that you can't tolerate is that thing that you're called to change. And that's kind of what motivated me. I wanted women to look at themselves in a more positive way, to understand that there's a strength, a greater power working on the inside of them, and it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's just a gift, and just embrace it.
Well, I appreciate your gift, and I just love you.
Love you too.
And I'm just excited to see what all's going to blossom and bloom and all of that in your life.
Thank you.
But we have to go.
Oh.
But I want to toast to you.
Definitely.
God bless you.
God bless you.
And I want to see you again, little Tyler Perry.
Thank
Sandra
you.
Bennett
Thank
Carter.
you for having me.
All right.
My pleasure.
Don't go away. This has been great. We're going to come right back here on Coffee with Monica with our Purpose Moments. We'll see you right back here in just a moment.
Nearly 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by the carelessness of humans and could be prevented. Help protect the home of our forest friends.
Come on! You can do it!
Only you can prevent wildfires.
To be or not to be? That is the question. That's the question I'm asking you today. Are you going to be? What I mean by that, are you going to be the person that you have been designed and ordained to be? Whether you are a writer, a producer, an actress, actor, entrepreneur, are you going to be? And what I gathered from our conversation today with Miss Sandra Bennett Carter, that we can be. And we can push past the fear, we can develop the passion, and we can go for it. As we had our coffee chat, I like to call it coffee chat, she talked about how this thing was birthed out of her. And then she got a chance to read about her spiritual baby in the paper. So what's inside of you? I want you to think about that. And whatever comes to mind, put it to paper, research it, jump out there, push past the fear, because what's inside of you is going to be a blessing not only to you, but to me and those around. So I want you to think about that. Also, we're revamping the website. I want you to go out there. We've got some fun things out there for you. Log on to www.coffeewithmonicashow.com. Email me also at monica@coffeewithmonicashow.com. And as always, be blessed, and thanks for having Coffee with Monica.